subtle. Hello booktube, I thought today I would do a really quick book review of a book that I was given for Christmas called We Are All Completely Beside Ourselves. The only thing I knew about it going into it was its cover, which is beautiful, and the blurb on the back, which was good. Those two things were the best things about the book. Unfortunately, I really didn't like it. I can't find many redeeming features other than it was quite effective and quite interesting. It got under my skin, but not in a good way, in a kind of really bad, annoying way. I found that the characters were all unrelatable, which might have been kind of the point of the book, but I feel like this could have been done in a more positive way. So I can't really give away much of the storyline or much of why I thought it was bad without giving away a major plot twist, because this book does have a big surprise in it, which is actually quite early on in the novel. So I thought, oh, that's cool, but that's probably not the plot twist, because all over the back it's written one of the most interesting plot twists of all time, which it was really interesting, it was really cool, and that was the only exciting part of the entire book, and it just kind of plateaued from there, and there wasn't any more excitement or storyline or plot really from that point on. I thought that the characters in this book were unnecessarily cruel to each other, and that they didn't talk things through as much as they probably should have. Another thing about this book that I found really interesting was that usually when I discover big words that I don't know in books, I find that really interesting and wonderful and I love it, but in this book it felt overdone, condescending, and like it thought its audience was really stupid. It sort of made our main character not only annoying, but like she thought she was better than everyone else, I suppose. The words that I wrote down in the front that I really learnt that I had to look up to understand kind of describe the book in a way which I found very fascinating. So, ineluctable, which means inescapable. Refulgent, which means to shine brightly. I don't know how to say this one. Oniric, which is a dreamlike state. Catachresis, which is funny, is the use of a word in an incorrect way. And verklempt, which is too emotional to speak. So none of those things are particularly positive. Don't hate things because they're different, and that's a big part of this book, but I don't know, I think familial relationships would be stronger. See, if this happened to my family, I'm not sure we would have reacted in the same way. But I guess that's a personality thing, as well as upbringing. And look, it's fascinating and it's interesting, but the story it tells has no plot. It reads like a memoir, and I don't like memoirs. I don't like things that are a little bit too real. And I think this really has that quality about it, which could be quite interesting if you're into that sort of thing. It's also got a whole bunch of animal rights issues in here, and that always makes me very uncomfortable because, you know, maybe I'm too much of an empath to enjoy this book. Says more about me than the book, probably, about how I'm reacting to it, which is an interesting psychological review, I guess, which I think the father character in this book would have been interested to know about. It says in a lot of the reviews in it and on the back and stuff is that it's magic and it's funny and it's witty, but I didn't find it any of those things. I found it way too real, way too sad and stubborn and just gritty, I guess, and I didn't like that things didn't click. It just didn't click for me, I guess. It's quite well written, it's very differently written from a lot of other books I've read, but I just didn't like it. I didn't find it an enjoyable experience. I didn't find it warmed me in any way, and even when I was reading it I was saying things like, oh, I'm just gonna go read some of that horrible book. But I did get all the way through it, and I kept waiting for something to happen. I was waiting for this build-up, like it just kept building and building and building, but it didn't seem to amount to anything, and that just really put me on edge. It made me irritated. I almost didn't finish it. So I did like that very first plot twist, but then the book just had nothing going from it after that. I think the concept of the book is really good. I think it had a lot of potential. Okay, I think that's all I've got to say about it. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I will see you in the future. How do you turn this thing off? Oh look, the background, my shirt, and the book are all the same colour. That was intentional, of course. So I'm currently at my parents' house and I've been here since before Christmas and it's been really exciting, and I am going home tomorrow, which will be the day this is released actually. I will be back to my normal settings, different bookshelves. I've been very unwell. I'm sorry if my voice is croaky. I have had ulcerations in my mouth and down the back of my throat, and I ended up going to the ER on Boxing Day about them because they're so bad. Yeah, they went away for a bit and they've come back a little bit, but I'm hoping not as bad this time. It makes it really hard to swallow and sometimes talk. I'm hoping not to let that stop me from achieving goals. There is a really large fly outside and I'm not sure if you can hear it buzzing, but it's really weird. Okay, I think he's going away. Which means I've been doing like canoeing and bushwalking and seeing all my family and stuff, and it's just been really full on and tiring, and I'm gonna go home and do nothing but read for months if I can. The country life, hey? Flies so loud you can't even record. See, in the city I have to worry about traffic and like other people's washing machines and the gardeners, but here it's massive ass flies. They're this big, just buzzing around. Okay, he's gone.